Hey, what's going on, my friends? In this video, we are going to talk about upselling your customers or clients, whichever, field and whatever you're working with. That's obviously going to vary. It's going to depend. But specifically, if you are someone part of the gig economy and you are someone who works with TaskRabbit. Now, of course, if you are just a freelancer or you are a small business owner, someone who does sales, software sales, whatever, a lot of these, what I'm going to share with you, these tips will still be something that you can apply. You'll just have to kind of change things up a little bit depending on what it is that you are selling, what kind of service or product you have to offer. But really, when it all, if you want to strip everything away, all the bells and whistles, and just simplify things, uh, I think a lot of times when people think about upselling or just, sales in general, sometimes people think of that shady, grimy car salesman. And we want to get rid of that perception, that image. And times have changed. And really, it's about the value that you can bring to the table, that you can bring to a customer. The world is big. If you have a good product or service, there's going to be someone out there who can most likely benefit from it, assuming you did your market research and you know that, you're in the right area and whatnot, targeting the right people. And so, if you are someone who's, again, if you're on TaskRabbit in particular, but like I said, these tips can apply these tips outside of this gig app. But if you are trying to upsell a customer, meaning you were booked for something, and you're now working with that customer or client. At this point, once you're done doing whatever it is you did, you probably don't want it to end there. Assuming it's a good customer or client, you probably want to try to upsell them, meaning you want to get them to buy something else, or you want to be able to, again, provide additional valuable services or products that they may not have known you can provide. And so if you are, let's say, someone who is on TaskRabbit and maybe you were booked for, let's say, delivery. Well, one way you can upsell someone, and this is by having it be where it's relevant to what you do, is by communicating and asking the customer, communicating with them and saying, I'd be happy to help you with picking up that new item from IKEA, for example. At this point, you might then ask, just to help with being able to make sure I can pack it appropriately inside of the moving truck or the cargo van. What will I be moving? What am I picking up? And they might say, oh, it's going to be a desk and 4 chairs and a kitchen table, whatever it might be. At this point, you can upsell the customer and say, well, if you would like, I actually do provide furniture assembly assistance as well. So as you can see here, there's furniture assembly. So they may not have known this. Maybe they did. Maybe they were going to do it on their own. And again, depending on your comfort level with being able to sell yourself and how confident you are with whatever it is that you're offering to help with, you can push back or not. So a great example is someone books you for delivery. You then say, hey, John, I'd be glad to help. And just curious, what exactly is it that I'll be picking up? They'll say, oh, you're picking up a table and a desk and 4 chairs. Oh, great. Well, just an FYI, in case you need help, I actually also provide furniture assembly help. So along with being able to pick up these items, I can also assist with furniture assembly. John might say, oh, great. Like, I didn't know that. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. Wasn't even thinking about that really. I just was, focused on getting the items home, and I'd worry about those other things later. But you actually just helped me out by, letting me know that you do this. So fantastic. I'd love to work with you. Or maybe John will say, oh, I'm all set. That's something I do on my own, and I'm all set. I've done, a million chairs and whatnot. You can leave it there. Like I said, when he says, I'm all set, I've done these type of things. Or you can continue to not push back, but again, just kind of rebuttal, so to speak, put your sales skills, your marketing skills to the test, so to speak, and let them know again. And this is assuming you actually are a professional, or at least you feel like you do provide good services in whatever category it is. If it's furniture assembly, if you feel like you can probably do a potentially better job than John, then maybe you just say, you sure, I've actually done a few of these type of tables before. I've done one of these desks before. For example, I just did 3 Jarvis fully Jarvis desks. Or is it fully? I think the brand is Foley and the tables are called Jarvis, or maybe it's the other way around. But I just did 3 of those, for example. So having done them before, I might potentially be able to punch this one out pretty quickly as well, instead of, instead of someone who hasn't done it before, where it's going to take them, twice as long. And so, of course, you want to say it you're not going to say it the way I just said that, but just letting him know, you sure? I've actually done a ton of those type of desks before, and so I've punched them out pretty quickly. And I am here, while I am here, I can assist. I don't have anything for a bit. And he might say, you know what, actually, sure. I would love to have a hand to help out with punching this out. Or maybe I'll say, actually, you know what, I actually can go finish doing something else while you do this. And then my kids will be home from school, the desks and everything will be set up. Fantastic. So really, again, it's about letting them know, one, that you can provide this additional service. And then 2, if they are a little reluctant at first, maybe you just push back a tad bit and just, again, let them know, hey, 2 hands, or 4 hands are better than 2. Furthermore, I have experience doing this, and might be able to get it done more quickly, and just, the correct way. In which they'll say, you know what, I've never done this before, or I did it a long time ago. It actually was a hassle before. I would love your help with this. So again, one really kind of easy way to upsell your customer is just by finding a relevant service that is kind of an extension of what it is that you are already doing, that you're already providing. If you are there doing yard work and you're doing weeding work, and while you're doing weeding work, or vice versa, maybe you're doing lawn care work, you're cutting the grass, well, you might notice one of the beds has weeds. Then you can say, hey, I know you just booked me to cut the grass, but I did notice 1 or 2 of the beds have a little weeds. Actually, I can help with that as well if you'd like a hand. Again, they might say, yeah, I would love it. Or they'll say, I'm all set. I actually love to do it. It's peaceful. I love to be out in the yard. Da da da. So again, it's just keeping your eyes open. And this, I guess, will go to the next point, or idea or way you can upsell, where it doesn't have to be relevant, so keeping your eyes open and noticing that, hey, you are there to do personal assistance work or organizational work inside the house, but while you're going into the house, you notice the yard needs work done, and maybe they didn't know that you provide yard care assistance, that you have a lawnmower and tools. Well, again, it's the same difference where you just and it's about casually kind of letting them know these things, not being just completely direct to the point where you're like, man, your yard is horrible, like, what? Maybe depending on their personality, maybe you can kind of kid around like that, but generally you probably want to be careful with something like that, especially if you're just getting to know them and they don't really know your personality. But really, again, it's about just keeping your eyes open and noticing and seeing things that are relevant to what you can assist with, other services that they might not know you provide, and just letting them know, I actually do, I can assist. I can assist with lawn care work and, picking up leaves. It's fall here in Boston right now, leaves all over the place. Well, I can actually assist with that, and then actually cutting your grass and da da da. So it's just communicating, keeping your eyes open, noticing, looking for opportunities, and being able to let them know, providing them value, that you can assist and help them and be of value. So, I think those are some ways you guys can upsell a customer, of course, outside of, like, once you are booked, like outside of this, where you're there at their house and you see other things that you can assist with that they may not have known. It also comes down to, again, just being vocal and communicating with them, but then also listening. So along with seeing things, but listening, you might hear them say, oh, you know, for example, down here, you got pet sitting, and maybe they have a dog, they have a cat. Like myself, I grew up with a dog and 3 cats. And yeah, the cats can take care of themselves, but if they have some sort of injury, and maybe John's like, you know what? Actually, the only reason why I needed you to pick up those items and help with delivering and whatnot was because I hurt my foot. And at that point, you know, you might say, hey, you know, well, what about Lassie, you know, the dog. How who takes Lassie out on walks? Because you know, actually, Lassie and I love Lassie, and Lassie comes over and you go messing with Lassie and kissing her and everything. Again, it's dog breath all up on you, and you're like, yeah, I love Lassie, and me and Lassie, you know, this, that, and the other. I'd love to help out, and you know, I can take him out on a few walks for you if you want. You know, I know you said you take him to the park. I remember we were talking, and you were saying you take him to the park like once a week or twice a week, and you haven't been able to do it in a while. Well, you know, I can assist with this if you would like a hand with it as well. And they might say, oh, I already have a dog sitter. Or maybe they say, actually, that'd be great. Like, I wasn't even thinking about it, or I didn't know what I was going to do this week, and I've just been so tied up with this, that, and the other. Fantastic. Again, it's providing value to your customers, to your clients, letting them know you can help, and letting them know what it is you can help and what you are willing to help with. Because if you don't speak up, and maybe they need assistance with this, but if you don't speak up and if they don't know it, then they're going to go book someone else. They're going to get help somewhere else, or, you know, essentially do it themselves whenever they get around to it. But you won't have that chance to help if they don't know that you can assist. So, you know, it's about seeing opportunities and letting them know, communicating with your customers that you can assist them and you can provide them some value. And outside of when you're actually there on site, you know, sometimes I've done jobs where I got booked for, maybe it was furniture assembly, that something had already been delivered. So they booked someone else to deliver it, or maybe the company delivered it for them, but they need help with assembling that item. Well, now that I'm there assembling the item, I'll sometimes let people know. I'm like, well, how'd you get this big thing over here? Like, you know, this is pretty heavy. And they're like, yeah, you know, I booked another tasker or something like that. Well, I'll let them know, well, I actually have a cargo van. So I can, you know, in the future, feel free to keep me in mind if you need help with this. And they'll say, fantastic. Yeah, great. And then they'll actually oftentimes will say, like, actually, you know, and maybe they'll either notice it directly, as some of you guys may have noticed, but my hat, right? You see the Adam Helper? That is my company, my brand, my DBA name, Adam Helper. And so, you know, this isn't really upselling, but it's the ability to market and promote myself, where someone will say, oh, and is that your website? Or is that, you know, I'll have my t-shirt, and they'll catch on. My name's Adam Helper. I'm doing things. I'm providing help and service and value to them. They'll kind of ask me and say, oh, like, is this something that, is that your website? Can I reach out to you there? And then they'll have like either another direct line to connect with me. And even if you guys go to my website, Adam Helper, and if you do book now, it's going to redirect them to my TaskRabbit profile. Of course, there's my you know, there's a phone number up there, and they can email me too. But the point is, you know, it's just about giving people options, letting them know there are multiple ways they can get in touch with you. They can book you. But specifically here on TaskRabbit, you know, I'm a big fan. And I think, again, and in the real world, it's just about providing value and letting people know that you can help them, you know, maybe even outside of that initial product or service that they booked you for. And that said, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If so, like this video. I do appreciate you guys watching, and it does let me know that you guys like and enjoy this type of content. After that, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Then you can stay up to date on all of our latest and upcoming videos, whether we're talking about TaskRabbit or other gig apps, ways you can make money, manage your money, and of course, grow your money. Oh, and really quickly, if you guys have any suggestions, any other ideas or ways you can upsell that I didn't, you know, touch on in this video, and I do have a few other videos, of course, but feel free to comment with those thoughts down below. All right, now I got to keep it moving, but I'll see you in the next video. Peace.